What do you think of when you hear the term load management thrown around?
It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost,
Yeah, you heard right. Michael Jordan just went off about load management in the NBA and sent a powerful message to today's players about how weak and disrespectful the league has become toward the fans and the game itself. Oh, and he also revealed a dark secret behind most of LeBron's games. And trust me, this could actually destroy the way you see today's league. Today, we'll break down how MJ's Iron Man mentality made him a legend, LeBron's wild secret, and the jaw-dropping stats that prove how soft the NBA has become since load management became a thing. Buckle up. It's about to get messy. You ever heard someone say they don't make them like they used to? Jordan is literally the reason people say that about basketball. The man had this crazy rule in his head that if someone spent their week's paycheck to see him play, he owed them everything he had that night. No rest, no tight hamstring, no let me sit this one out. You paid to see Michael Jordan.
There to watch me play. I want to impress that guy way up on top who probably worked his ass off to get a ticket.
And that mindset wasn't for show either. The dude played all 82 games 9 different times. 9. Even in his late 30s with the Wizards when his knees looked like they'd been through 15 seasons of war, he still suited up every single game. Meanwhile, players today sit out with load management in December. And remember, this was the same guy who played through a flu in the 1997 finals and still made 38 points in 44 minutes while barely able to stand. That's not mental toughness. That's borderline delusional competitiveness. But that's who he was. He played through ankle sprains, migraines, back pain, exhaustion, everything. In '93, when his father was murdered, he came back and said basketball was therapy. That's how deep his connection to the game ran. What's wild is how it bled into everything around him. His teammates used to say practice with MJ felt worse than actual games. Steve Kerr literally got punched in 1995 because Jordan couldn't turn it off. He wanted everyone to show up like him. And that's why those Bulls teams weren't just good, they were built different. But here's the part people overlook. That relentless attitude didn't just win championships. It built the NBA's popularity. The league wasn't this global powerhouse before MJ. In the early 80s, the finals weren't even broadcast live sometimes. Then Jordan shows up, never takes nights off, gives fans a show every single game, and suddenly the NBA is the biggest ticket in sports. Viewership exploded. Merchandise sales tripled and every kid on the planet wanted to be like Mike. Think about that. The NBA didn't go global because of marketing alone. It happened because the biggest star on the planet made fans trust the product. You buy a ticket, you get greatness, no excuses, and that's the standard he set. Jordan believed greatness meant showing up when it was inconvenient, painful, and even impossible. That was his code. So, it's no wonder his recent comments about load management hit like a nuke. Because when a guy who played through the flu, exhaustion, and grief says today's players are disrespecting fans by sitting out, you can't just brush that off. And here's the crazy thing. He's not the only one who feels that way. When Jordan took a shot at load management, the NBA legends didn't bat an eye. Some of the greatest players of all time like Iverson, Barkley, and Magic, they all agreed and they were like, finally someone said it. Because that wasn't Jordan being bitter. That was him channeling a whole era that believed in one simple rule. If you can walk, you play. Kobe Bryant was basically Jordan too. 0 when it came to this. Kobe hated the idea of rest. In one of his last interviews, he laughed and said he couldn't even wrap his head around it. He was like, what the heck is load management? This is the same guy who tore his Achilles, stood up, and still hit 2 free throws before limping off. In 2019, when people asked if he ever thought about sitting out, Kobe literally said this.
The people that I've always had issues or problems with are the people that don't demand excellence for themselves. I won't tolerate that.
That's talking the Mamba G. He and Jordan had the same DNA, which apparently LeBron never got. Then there's Allen Iverson, the toughest 6-foot dude to ever touch a basketball. I used to play like every game was a street fight. Fractured fingers, bruised ribs, sprained ankles, it didn't matter. He once said on the New Heights podcast that the idea of resting on purpose didn't even exist when he played. He said if you could walk, you were hooping.
Never come to me and talk to me about load management. Like, AI, you're not playing tonight. Why? We're resting you. You're resting me like you're resting me. That's not load management. That's a suspension, man.
And it's not like he's exaggerating. In 2001, he played through 10 different listed injuries and still dragged the Sixers to the finals. Charles Barkley has also been calling this out forever, and he doesn't even sugarcoat it. On TNT, he said, modern players are pampered, that they cheat the fans, and that it's a joke how guys sit out perfectly healthy. Barkley's take is simple. Fans pay thousands of dollars to see the best in the world play basketball, not watch designer tracksuits on the bench. And he's not wrong.
BS with load management. We can't keep crapping on the fans where we're like, wait, yeah, you're making $70 million. You can't play basketball 4 days a week.
That's Barkley logic and it's bulletproof. Magic Johnson also chimed in when the NBA started getting heat for this. He said flat out that load management was hurting the game.
They have got to do something about this load management. It's hurting the game.
Magic's whole brand was Showtime. He understood that the NBA is entertainment, and if your stars aren't on the court, the show dies. He pointed out that ratings dropped nearly 40% in recent years, and it's no mystery why the stars aren't playing. And then there are the Iron men like Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, and Larry Bird. The guys who treated 80 games a season like a casual stroll. Malone played 80 or more games 17 times in 19 seasons. That's almost 2 decades of never missing work. Patrick Ewing was built the same way. Even with his knees shot, he was still suiting up for the full 82 games. And Larry Bird, that man's back was cooked. He had herniated discs in his back that were so bad and painful that he'd have to lie flat on the locker room floor during timeouts. He once said he didn't want to disappoint the people who came to see him play. Imagine that. The man could barely stand up on most days, but he still gave you 30 points because fans paid for that. That's the difference between eras right there. Those guys saw playing as respect. You don't take nights off from your job when people literally plan their week around seeing you. So when Jordan calls out today's players like LeBron who have decided to promote laziness and softness in the NBA, know that he's not just ranting. He is trying to warn against mediocrity in the league. And if you think this is just nostalgia talking, check the numbers. Back in the 80s and 90s, playing every single game wasn't a rare thing. It was normal. In 1980, 56 players played for all 82 games. The next year, 57 did it. Through the 90s, the pattern stayed the same. 58 players in 1990, 50 in 1991, 53 in 1992, 51 in 1998, and 58 in 2000. That means nearly 60 guys every season. More than an entire modern roster's worth were what we call Iron Men. Now, fast forward to the load management generation in 2016. That number dropped to 18. The next year, 17. In 2019, just 21. Then it hit rock bottom. 5 players in 2022. 5 out of hundreds. In 2023, there were 10. Last season, 17. And early projections for 2025 hover around 11. From nearly 60 a year to barely a dozen. That's not evolution. That's a disgrace to the legacy of the NBA. And this isn't because the league suddenly got more dangerous or tougher. Players now have private jets, custom nutritionists, sleep coaches, and recovery tech that look like something out of a sci-fi movie. Yet somehow they play less. Old school players didn't have load science charts or recovery protocols. They had ice baths and pride. They showed up because they believed fans deserved consistency. That's the code Jordan's talking about. The code that built the NBA's global respect. When almost 60 players a year used to make it through all 82 and now we're celebrating guys for cracking 70. That's not progress. That's a warning sign. The numbers don't just tell a story. They expose an era that has forgotten what it means to show up every night. And everyone can feel it. The league just doesn't hit the same. Today's NBA is all about comfort, control, and strategic rest. Players manage their minutes like business portfolios. Everything's about load, data, and longevity. And look, that sounds smart on paper, but when fans are dropping hundreds on tickets to watch their favorite players sit in designer sweats on the bench, it doesn't feel smart. It's plain disrespectful. Let's be real, the modern NBA has turned playing basketball into risk management. Guys are skipping games like it's part of a corporate policy. Back then, players feared losing their spot, but now they fear soreness. And you can't talk about this without mentioning the ringleader, LeBron James. LeBron's whole "if I'm hurt, I don't play. If not, I'm playing" line in 2019 is the most despicable thing to say for someone who calls himself the GOAT. And it's also symbolic of this generation's mindset. It's not about playing through pain anymore. It's about protecting the brand. LeBron has missed over 100 games in the past 5 seasons. That's more than MJ missed in his entire Bulls career outside of his broken foot a year. And that's crazy when you realize MJ was playing 40 minutes a night, getting thrown to the floor by the bad boy Pistons, and still showing up the next day like it was personal. And here's where it gets real. You remember the flu game, right? Game 5 of the '97 finals. Jordan could barely stand and he was sweating like he'd just run a marathon before tip-off. Trainer said he looked pale, dehydrated, and that he was done. And what did he do? He dropped 38 points, hit the dagger, and collapsed into Pippen's arms. That wasn't a performance. That was a message. He showed up when his body told him not to because of the respect he had for the game. And let's not act like LeBron's the only culprit. Kawhi Leonard basically invented load management as a mainstream concept. Back in 2019 with the Raptors, it was treated like some revolutionary science thing. The idea was to sit Kawhi 22 games so he's fresh for the playoffs. And yeah, it worked. They won a title and the league took notes. But that win came with side effects. Teams across the NBA looked at that blueprint and thought, why risk anything in January? So basically, Kawhi became the poster boy for load management. And the Raptors' success turned it from a medical plan into a culture. Remember when he was asked about it in a press conference and just shrugged, if I can play, I'll play. Yeah, this one.
I was injured during that whole year. But other than that, if I'm able to play, I'll play basketball.
Then there's Kevin Durant. KD loves to talk about protecting longevity and being smart with his body, but if we're being honest, the old heads didn't care about that stuff. They were playing for legacy, not maintenance. Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, and Larry Bird. Those dudes weren't calculating career extensions. They were chasing greatness every single night. KD's logic makes sense from a career perspective, but from a fan's perspective, it kills the magic. Every night used to feel like something could happen. And now you've got to pray to God that your favorite star is even going to play for a game you had planned to attend weeks or even months ahead. Even Steph Curry, who's supposed to be one of the most likable players in the world, has bought into the rest when necessary culture. He missed multiple marquee games last season due to load management. The weirdest part is how normal it's all become. Stars play 60 games, skip the tough ones, and still end up in the MVP conversation like they grinded all year. Imagine telling that to someone in the nines. They'd laugh you out of the arena. And here's the wild twist. All this rest hasn't even stopped injuries. Teams are supposedly being smarter, more scientific, and more cautious. Yet stars are still getting hurt left and right. According to a 2024 study, player availability actually declined over the past decade despite advances in load science. So, if it doesn't even work, what are we doing here? MJ's generation didn't have sports scientists telling them when to breathe. They had pride. And that pride built the global NBA brand that these new stars are cashing in on today. The saddest part is we might never get that raw, passionate era back. The one where stars love the game more than optics. The one where every night meant something.
I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want.
So yeah, this is the softest era the NBA has seen yet. The talent's there, but the heart is missing. The hunger, the obligation, and the respect for the grind are all gone. MJ didn't just play the game, he lived it like a responsibility. And too many players now treat it like an option. And here's where things get spicy. Because when MJ went off about load management, let's be honest, he wasn't just talking in general. That was a shot. A subtle but deadly one. Everyone knows exactly who that message was aimed at. LeBron James. See, MJ doesn't throw random shade. He's too precise for that. When he talks about players sitting out, losing that hunger, and choosing comfort over competition, that's not vague criticism. That's him saying, don't you dare call yourself the GOAT if you're picking rest nights over playing actual games. And here's the thing. Jordan has always shown mad love for Kobe Bryant. Always. He called Kobe his little brother and said he was the only one who truly matched his drive. MJ respected that dog energy. Kobe was obsessed, maniacal, and relentless. He didn't need to tell the world he was built different. He showed it every single night. Now, has MJ ever said anything like that about LeBron? No, never. Not once. Instead, we've seen that clip. Yeah, that one where MJ said LeBron moves strange.
LeBron always moves strange, not like Kobe. And when the Diddy stuff came out, I knew I was right all along. That's why I chose to mentor Kobe.
That wasn't a random comment. That was a surgical disc. And the translation is that LeBron doesn't have that old school DNA. Because LeBron's so-called greatness has always come with this layer of calculation. He curates his image like a brand manager. He talks about longevity, playing smart, and taking care of his body. It's all very corporate, and that's the core of it. MJ's not saying LeBron isn't a great player. He's saying LeBron's version of greatness wouldn't survive in the era that made men like him. LeBron plays to maintain. MJ played to dominate. Kobe understood that. And that's why MJ respected him like a peer, not a successor. Which brings us back to load management. You know, things have gotten bad when the NBA literally has to force its stars to play basketball. Yeah, that's where we are now. The league finally snapped and dropped the new player participation policy, which is them basically saying, if you're healthy, you're playing. No more random rest nights. In 2023, the NBA made the policy that star players must play in all nationally televised and in-season tournament games unless they have an approved reason. And teams cannot rest more than one star player in the same game. Then there's the 65-game rule. You want MVP All-NBA Defensive Player of the Year? Cool. Go play basketball. You've got to hit that 65-game mark to even qualify. That's the rule now. And that just goes to show how fed up the fans in the league are. It's wild when you think about it. Back in 2012, Greg Popovich got fined $250,000 just for resting his starters against the Heat on national TV. That was the warning shot. Now it's a full-on crackdown. And honestly, it's kind of sad that the NBA even had to do this. Jordan didn't need a rule to tell him to show up. Kobe didn't either. But now you've got to dangle awards just to get stars on the court. That's not load management. That's babysitting. And there's the excuse the teams and players throw around these days. They'll say it's science or it's analytics. Teams love to throw around all these fancy words like heart rate monitoring, recovery protocols, and workload metrics like they're running NASA. Like sitting out 20 games is some kind of advanced strategy. They call it protecting longevity or optimizing performance. It all sounds smart, right? But here's the thing. It's really not. In fact, the NBA itself studied 10 years of data and found no clear link between sitting guys out and fewer injuries. Their report stated, results do not suggest that missing games for rest or load management reduces future in-season injury risk. In other words, load management is all a facade. And the worst part, when the stars start sitting out, it's the fans who pay the price and the damage is already stacking up. Remember Kawhi Leonard's 2019 Raptors season? This dude sat out 22 regular season games in the name of load management, all to be fresh for the playoffs. And yeah, it delivered a championship. But here's the twist. It also created a blueprint that teams across the NBA quickly copied. Load management became a strategy. And suddenly, it wasn't about survival or injury prevention. It was about maximizing numbers. Then there's the case of real-time spectators. Fans who had bought tickets, planned their week around the game, and the stars sat out. In 2022, Curry missed a marquee Warriors-Bucks matchup. In 2023, LeBron's absences from nationally televised games sparked similar outrage. And it's not just games. Load management distorts narratives and award races, MVP debates, playoff seedings, and highlight reels now come with a caveat. Which games did the star actually play? Every decision to sit out adds another question mark, another loss of unpredictability, and another chip away at the excitement that made the NBA global. Look, it's not just stats or awards. This is bigger. Basketball isn't just a game. It mirrors the culture around it. Back in the day, the grind was everything. Michael Jordan didn't just play because he was good. He played because showing up mattered. Players like Kobe, Bird, and Malone treated pain like it was part of the job. Fans expected it, and it delivered drama, sweat, and unpredictability every single night. Now the narrative has flipped. Stars manage minutes, skip tough matchups, and the fans feel it. And the excitement is all being replaced by comfort and strategy. When Jordan called out load management, it wasn't just a rant. It was a wake-up call, a shout to fans, to players, and even to the league. This isn't what basketball should feel like. The old-school grit, the sweat, and the pain. That's what made it magical. If players keep chasing comfort instead of competition, we might lose that heartbeat entirely. And that's what makes this moment so shocking and so urgent. So here's the question for you. Are we okay letting the soft era define the NBA, or do we want that old-school hunger back? Drop a comment below with what you think. Which player today actually plays like they owe it to the fans? Hit that like button if you're tired of excuses, and subscribe.